Many years ago, the world was filled with people who had lost their way. They had turned away from the worship of the one true God. On that time, Prophet Nuh, or Noah, was chosen by God during a time when his people had lost their way. They had turned to worshiping idols and were living in corruption and arrogance. God sent Nuh as a messenger to guide them back to the right path, to believe in one God, and to abandon their false idols. Noah was a patient and kind man. He spent many years preaching to his people, telling them to leave their wicked ways. He warned them that if they didn't turn back to God, they would face a great punishment. But his people didn't listen. Instead, they laughed at him and mocked him, thinking he was crazy. They believed nothing bad would ever happen to them. But Nuh didn't give up. He kept trying, year after year, calling them to change their ways. He spoke to them privately, publicly, in groups, and one-on-one, but only a small handful of people believed him. Most of them continued to ignore him, and their arrogance grew. Finally, after so many years of rejection, God told Nuh that no more people would believe, and that it was time to bring an end to the corruption. God commanded Nuh to build a large ark, a huge boat. Although there was no sign of rain, Nuh started building the ark, trusting in God's plan. As Nuh worked on the ark, people mocked him even more. They ridiculed him, asking why he was building such a huge boat in the middle of dry land. But Nuh remained patient, knowing that God's promise would come true. When the ark was finished, God told Nuh to gather pairs of every kind of animal, as well as the small group of believers, and to board the ark. Then the punishment began. Dark clouds gathered, and the skies opened up with a heavy, endless rain. Water gushed from the earth, and soon a massive flood covered everything. The people who had mocked Nuh began to realize their mistake, but it was too late. The floodwaters rose higher and higher, drowning those who had refused to listen. Even Nuh's own son refused to board the ark, thinking he could escape the flood by climbing a mountain. Nuh called out to him, begging him to come to safety, but his son was too proud. Sadly, he too was swept away by the flood. When the waters finally began to recede, the ark came to rest on a mountain. God told Nuh and the believers to leave the ark and start a new life. Nuh's long journey of patience, faith, and perseverance had come to an end. The story of Prophet Nuh is one of great endurance. He spent almost a lifetime calling his people to change, but only a few listened. Through it all, Nuh remained strong, trusting in God's wisdom and never losing hope. His story teaches us about the power of patience, faith, and persistence. Even when faced with the greatest of challenges,